Welcome to Addressing the Corridor, the podcast with your monthly dose of real estate insight tailored to life here in Cedar Rapids and Iowa City and the surrounding communities, one address at a time. I'm Lisa Coots Schooley, your host and licensed realtor. On today's episode, I had the pleasure of sitting down with Robin Peterson. She is the market manager of HSA and American Home Shield Home Warranty. Robin works with homeowners and real estate professionals to help protect against unexpected repair costs, something many homeowners don't fully understand until it's too late. Today, we're breaking down what a home warranty really is, how it works, and whether it's actually worth it. With that, here's my conversation with Robin Peterson. Well, we're going to get right into it. First of all, Logan just told us he had a home warranty.
I did.
And how did it go for you?
Oh, I loved it. It actually helped us out quite a bit.
Good.
A number of times.
Well, tell us, give us an example. Robin is with HSA Home Warranties.
Yes, I am.
And American Shield.
American Home Shield.
American Home Shield.
I recommended, when I was in real estate, I recommended home warranties to a lot of, especially my first-time buyers.
Okay.
And especially for buyers who were buying homes in certain parts of Cedar Rapids that are older, that
Correct.
that would need things. So I bought my first house in 2019, Southeast Side.
Love it.
Gorgeous,
Okay.
pushing 100-year-old house.
Yeah.
And, knew that it was going to need some things, but, I had a nonprofit salary at the time. We were figuring everything out. So having a home warranty gave me a lot of peace of mind for my mechanicals, for, some of those everyday things that we needed. So,
Yeah.
and I used it a few times, worked out really well.
Good.
Great to hear that.
That's right off the bat, Robin.
I
mean,
know.
We didn't even pay for that advertising.
Out of the gate. I love it.
And
Very
for the record,
good.
I used your home warranties and it worked great for us. So,
Wonderful.
personal recommendation.
I love it.
I do too.
You can't buy that advertising.
Right. I mean, it's always great to hear those personal experiences and just, for him and to see the value in it is always what I like to hear. So,
Well, I know you guys give us postcards of our clients that have used, what they've used on their home warranties. And
Correct.
It does my heart good
good.
when I get those in my mailbox because, again, it's just another service that we give to clients. And when we hear that it actually kicked in and helped them out,
Yes.
there's no better feeling.
That's right. I mean, it's a great marketing tool to have in your tool belt, to be able to offer that budget protection, peace of mind, like Logan mentioned, and just, knowing that they have that security there to help them out.
So before we go any further, let's break it down because my listeners, they're like, what in the heck are they talking about, right?
Yes, yes.
So home warranties.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about it?
I sure can.
Why it's important?
I sure can, Lisa. So basically, first of all, for those of you out there that have not used a home warranty, I just want to let you know what it is and what it can help you with, what it can do for you. So a home warranty is a contractual agreement between the client and our company, HSA and American Home Shield, whatever brand you decide to use. I do sell both. I think we do more HSA with you, Lisa, but and it's for failure of mechanical items and appliances in the home that break down due to normal wear and tear. So with that being said, we base it off of plumbing, electrical, appliances, and HVAC, which is your air conditioning and your furnace. So per the contract, those are the 5 majors that we offer. Like I said, when something fails due to normal wear and tear, they are able to pay the trade service fee, which runs anywhere between $100 and $125.
Okay.
And what they do is they make a claim, they pay the $100, and then that is assigned to one of our vendors. So one of our techs will then make contact with the homeowner. They'll schedule a time. They will come out to the home and see what the basically what the problem is and how we are going to address it, whether we have to repair it at that time, which we will try to repair it first. But if it can't be repaired, then that's when we talk replacement options.
So let's say it's the middle of winter and your heating system goes down. First step would be to call you, then you have to have a vendor come out. Is that how that works?
Yes.
Or do they call the vendor first, or
I'll tell you the process. So they have the failure, the breakdown, like you said, with their furnace. They will either go online to their portal, which you can do 24/7. You can go onto your portal. You can pay the service fee, make the claim, and then our vendors will get that in their queue. They will see it, and they will either call the client, or the client, once they have their information, they can reach out to them.
Okay.
It's just that you do have to make the claim, and with our warranty, we have contractors that are already vetted, insured, and ready to go.
Work 24 hours?
They don't work 24 hours. We can make the claim 24 hours a day, either online or by calling.
Okay.
But basically, they work business, their normal hours, that whatever the company, usually they're like a 7 a.m. to a 4 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
But if there is a really cold spell that we are having here in Iowa, we will make we'll make provisions to
make sure somebody's available.
Yes. And again, we aren't a emergency service. We're a home warranty, so they do have to go through the process.
Okay.
But we will get you taken care of.
Good to know.
Yes.
And for the record, again, this was 2019, 2020, but like the times that I used it, it was very fast.
And I've heard that too.
Yeah.
So
good.
I've heard that feedback from my clients.
Sometimes with like insurance claims, it can take a long time. There's a lot of steps and a long process. Yep. I didn't have any trouble ever getting
That's
it.
good. That's good. I like that.
Okay. Good to hear.
Yes. What should people look for in a company if they're looking, and trying to decide what to go with?
Absolutely. So obviously, we've been around a long time. Mm-hmm. I'm saying it's probably close to 50 years.
50? 50?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, they want to look for somebody who's been around in the business. They want to look for somebody who will be paying out higher aggregates. So we do that. We do not depreciate for age.
Okay.
So just for an example, if you had a 20-year-old furnace and that furnace went completely out, we could not repair it. We replace basically apples for apples, meaning we're not going to prorate and give you $200 for a 20-year-old furnace.
That's awesome.
We are going to give brand new and give basically the efficiency they had, or we may have to go up a little bit if that's not available.
Okay.
And so we do a great job at replacing apples for apples, like I said. Mm-hmm. So that's what they want to look for. We do the same thing with appliances. If you have a refrigerator that's been hanging on for 25 years.
Does that happen anymore?
Does. There have been some, but like we always say, they don't make them like they used to.
Right.
So
anything for that reason.
Correct. But what I wanted to basically tell everyone is that we again do not depreciate for age. So
that's awesome.
It would be replaced with a new one.
Okay.
Not necessarily that same brand.
Sure.
But we do offer quality brand, and it would be a brand new refrigerator.
Nice. Very nice.
Yes.
I think that's great.
One of the reasons why I carried the home warranty for so long is because we bought a house with a furnace that I think might be from the 1800s. So not really, but it's extremely old.
He had me for 1 second.
I know, me too. I'm like, I think that's the oldest one I've ever heard of.
It's probably from the 60s. It's really old.
Wow.
Really, really. But the truth is, like, they don't make them like they used to.
It's
like
so
said.
true.
Just keeps
I know.
going.
No,
I
it's
guess
true.
We'll just
It is.
we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an awesome thing to hear.
Yeah.
I don't
no,
mean
it
to,
is.
for the record, I don't mean to blow so much smoke about like
No, this
home warranties.
is wonderful because
But I want other people, listeners, to know like a
Exactly.
personal experience.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a personal use case in here, and I really liked it.
And
Yep. I agree.
that's what we like. We have a very high renewal rate as far as our product.
Okay.
It's over 80%. And
that is fabulous.
yes. And so to hear personal stories and just how they really helped out, I would love to hear 100 of those a day.
Yeah, right. No,
So-
I agree. That's why you are so good at what you do. You believe in it, and it really comes across.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate
No,
that.
it does.
I
It
just
does.
want, the customer to be treated like I want to be treated.
Exactly.
Type of thing. And
Yes.
so if something didn't go right, I want to know about it. If something did go right,
Yeah.
obviously it did, because we're hearing these experiences and just, things like that. We're
Yeah.
continuing to sell the warranties. But, I like I said, customer service is very important to me.
Yes,
and to
I
our
know
company.
it is, because there's never a time I've called you have not picked up the phone, and that's huge for for me. If I've got a client that's got questions, or we talk about it all the time. Pick up your phone, answer your phone. It's 100% of it's Gen X.
Well, it's to me, it's like, what? The problem isn't going to go away, right?
Exactly.
I
Might
mean,
as well
let's
do her
address
now.
it. Let's get it head on. Let's get it going and get it solved.
Yeah, for
so
sure. No, I
that's-
agree. What questions should people be asking before they buy about the warranty? Are there certain questions that would be more valuable?
I mean, I would obviously ask what potentially the home warranty is going to cover.
Okay.
Because
Yep.
a lot of people have different ideas about what might be covered and what may not be covered.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you look at it as being inside the foundation of the home, if you look at it that way, a heated area, your mechanicals, your appliances, your water heaters, things like that are, that every day we are replacing and repairing.
Yeah.
So I would just make sure that they know, what it covers. I would make sure that they know the process and how to use the home warranty. If they say, I'm used to calling ABC Plumbing and they come out to my house in 2 hours, or, they're going to be there the next morning. Okay. That's really not, that's
this is about.
not the warranty. The warranty is a cost savings, budget protection. Yes, the client is very important to us, but you have to trust the process.
Yeah.
Okay. We're saving them hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And they just need to understand how it works and how, just how the process is going to be handled.
Yeah.
So, and I am the market manager. I am, local. So, with working with a realtor like you, which obviously that is the first thing they want to do is have the realtor, but they want to be able to know that they have somebody that they can call. I will go ahead. I have a special team behind the scenes that I work with, and I will work with them so we get their claim brought to a resolution.
Nice. Yeah.
So those are the questions that I would ask if I was a home buyer.
A lot of times when we are going in as the buying agent, so there's a place on our contracts that talk about the home warranty. Do we want the seller to purchase it? Does the buyer want to purchase it? Or
Right.
do we not want one?
Okay.
So that's always a conversation we have. And I have it as a listing agent as well, to my sellers, just saying they may ask for one, or if we know that the mechanicals are old, I'll say, it'll make the house more appealing if we just go ahead and offer it.
Correct.
So there's ways that we talk about it with our clients as well.
Right.
So especially with buying, and it just, again, like you said, it gives you an extra layer of protection and you feel a little bit better about things. So, because that first year of owning a home is expensive. You're moving anyway. And, if God forbid you get in there and the air goes out or,
right.
You have that extra protection and you don't worry so much about more money coming out of your pocket. So.
Right. That's exactly what I just, look at it as that extra layer, like you said, after they've made their down payment and they've probably purchased furniture or, just different things for their home.
Yeah.
We know that this isn't going to, something that is, available that will not break the budget.
Yes.
So that is key.
I think it is, especially with our first time buyers that maybe not be so flush, aren't so flush.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Top 3 mistakes homeowners make. Probably maybe not calling you first.
Well, are you talking in regards to the mistakes they make about not filing a claim or
maybe not understanding, or is there a common misinterpretation of it, or
right. So basically I would say, number one, I've had people that just have called maybe a vendor, plumber, electrician, HVAC person that they've used in the past.
Okay.
And had them come out to the house, had them basically repair or replace something. Then after the fact, they think about, oh my goodness, we had the home warranty. Mm-hmm. And at that point, we can't do anything because they've already reached out to a professional company, had them come out and do the work. And so, we at that point, we just have to say, remember the next time you have something, you have to file a claim.
Okay.
So that's one of the big things I think that they forget about sometimes because they've been just, busy with the loan process and just,
And it's also stressful at the time when something breaks down and your biggest thing is to just get it going.
Right. I think the panic sets in, especially with big items such as your furnace or your AC or a big appliance, something like that. And they just think, oh my gosh, I have to call somebody immediately. Yeah. Well, normally just a person that is not even, with a warranty company, they're going to take 2 to 3 days to get out anyway. So it just you have to trust the process, follow the process, and if you have any questions, usually they might reach out to their realtor, but then again, if you want me to address it with them, I can as well. Mm-hmm. So don't jump the gun and do something that isn't the process and that you don't know what to do. I would feel much better if you called me first and I walk you through the process.
I love it. Yeah, that makes sense. What do people assume is covered but it's not?
I would use one item as maybe the sewer line that goes outside the home. I get a lot of calls on that.
Okay.
And so if it's outside of the foundation per se.
Okay.
So
we're talking like an Orangeburg replacement or something like that? Okay.
Yes, something like that. I think that, they just think, well, it's got something to do with my home. It must be covered.
Sure.
So I would say something like that. I've had calls about siding and windows and things like that.
Okay.
Like after the derecho.
Yes.
And, again, we cover things that happen due to normal wear and tear.
Okay.
And a derecho or a storm would not be one of those.
Okay.
So just remembering, the mechanicals, the appliances, water heaters, like I said, things that are
What
inside.
about some pumps inside?
Some pumps are covered.
Okay.
Yes.
So I know at one time there was talk about maybe Orangeburg being covered if you bought a rider, but is that?
It is not with
Okay.
us.
Okay.
No. I mean, you're looking at a policy that basically for us goes, up to $650 to $700, and for us to replace, something like 10,000-15,000
Right,
that
right,
is
yeah.
outside the home, that would be,
Okay.
we
Do you have a
wouldn't do that.
septic rider?
We have septic. Yes,
Because I think I've used one before.
Yes, it is a limited aggregate, but they can purchase that for an additional amount.
That's
they
what
can
I thought.
put that on.
And it doesn't cover like replacing it.
Correct.
It's
There is a cap on that we have, and I'd be happy to visit with anybody about
Sure,
it. But
sure.
but
I mean,
yeah,
it's-
it is capped.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. So
Yes.
this is great because just understanding what it does and what it doesn't do, I think is very important.
Right.
I
right.
just think it is. How does maintenance affect claims? So you kind of touched on it. If you have somebody coming out, so let's say we have somebody come out and they're cleaning ducts or whatever, they're maintaining the heat system. Is that going to affect the claim at all?
So it really depends on, obviously, first and foremost, what it is. When we talk about maintenance, we don't service an item for maintenance. There has to be a failure.
Okay.
But just to maybe help out with that, maintaining your AC in your furnace every year by having somebody come out. We do once a year. We do offer a promo for $100. It will have our people come out and make sure that it's ready for the next season.
Okay.
In fact, right now we're doing AC tune-ups to make sure that they're ready for the hot weather that we're going to get.
It's not going to be hot. For sure.
So we're waiting for it. But we want to make sure that it's in good working order. And if it's not, they do need to file a claim, and we will address that. But as far as maintenance goes, we don't come out to a home just for maintenance.
Okay.
But again, maintaining your appliances and keeping up with that, changing out filters, things like that, especially in your HVAC, in your furnace, those things are very important because we want to prolong the
Absolutely.
life, right? We want
Yeah.
it to be clean. We want it to be in good shape.
So this thing that you said $100 off to have.
So it's $100 total if you
okay.
have a buyer warranty in place.
Oh, okay.
So what happens is they set up that appointment online, and then, like I said, one of our licensed HVAC people will come out. They'll take a look at things, make sure that it's operating as it should, and then hopefully that could prevent when it's 100 degrees.
Yeah.
You're ahead of the problem. So again, we do that twice a year.
Okay.
For the clients who have buyer coverage in place. So it is a nice little.
Do you send a reminder to them?
Yes, they
Awesome.
will get it. They will get several emails. I have a warranty on myself on my own personal home, and I get several emails saying it's that time again, and it's limited. So I want to say mid-May we will stop it because we'll be getting so many calls for actual breakdowns on ACs.
So this will come out in June. our episodes. So just mark your calendars for next year to maybe have that.
There you go. That's right. That is right, Lisa. I forgot that. So
That's all right. That's okay.
Okay.
So, no, these are great to know anyway, because like I said, mark your calendars for next year to call, or like you said, you guys send out the websites or the emails, and which is wonderful. So that's another thing how you take care of clients too.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is.
So we're going to go into like who should absolutely have one. We kind of touched on that with Lucas because he had an older home.
Right.
So anybody else that you can think of now, condos, do you recommend people that are in condos? Who's like your basic people that should really look into these?
Right. I'm going to actually start out with condos and townhomes and address that. So, yes, we do offer those. They are a little bit cheaper for a townhouse and condos. And I would definitely recommend a home warranty for basically the majority, I guess, of people, because, we see these breakdowns with these appliances and water heaters and, just every day. Yeah. So, maybe if it was, per se a year or two old, then you might, there's not as much risk involved, right? So, but things that, anywhere past that, I would just for the security and the budget protection, I would have one.
Okay.
And we do also offer home warranties for new construction, which a lot of people don't understand, but the home warranty would start at year 2 and go years 2 through 4. But it has to be purchased that first year while they're, it has to be purchased while they're in the middle of, the home process. Like, so in other words, right before closing, they would need to purchase it, but it doesn't start until year 2. Okay.
So is that because a lot of builders have warranties in place, or what is the purpose?
Our basic, what we think is at year 2 when that builder warranty is usually up. Don't quote me on, I don't know every builder.
Different builders are different. Correct.
Every builder is different. So again, I'm not sure how long their new construction builder warranty goes, but we feel like if they're worried about that, then, they are able to get that home warranty to start and go years 2, 3, 4. And the reason why we offer that 3-year coverage is because it's not as big of a risk for us per se, especially like with HVAC. So, it as far as pricing, it's very competitive in those 3 years. So that's why we offer that.
Okay. So is there anybody you wouldn't recommend this to?
I guess I wouldn't recommend it to people that are set on using that specific company, like I'm just going to say 1, 2, 3 plumbing or 4, 5, 6 HVAC. I'm just throwing that out there. For people that want to use their own type of, contractor, then I probably wouldn't. Or just for people that want something, like an emergency service type of thing. Okay. Other than that, I would definitely recommend it.
It's definitely for everybody. So
right.
Interesting. I think that because I was thinking, new construction, because there's so many warranties out there, and do some of the appliances and stuff have warranties, correct?
Right. So if, they've got obviously they're getting brand new appliances when they're purchasing a brand new home, that manufacturer warranty is usually a year, maybe 2.
Okay.
So that's another thing. If it's under a manufacturer warranty, they need to use that first.
Ah, good.
So
Okay.
it does, supersede over our home warranty. So they do need to use the manufacturer first, and then it goes to us
Which makes
when
sense.
that's up.
That makes sense. Can you think of an example where someone saved thousands? Can you like let's talk real life here?
Oh,
and
definitely.
give us some scenarios about some examples.
Yeah. I mean, when you're talking going into the thousands of dollars, you're usually talking about a replacement of a furnace or a replacement of an HVAC or
Okay.
a replacement of a air conditioner. So, I mean, I've had people that have lived in their house maybe a month or 2, and it's a super hot day or a super cold day. We live in Iowa. It goes from one extreme to the other, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we're either constantly
Yep.
running our air or constantly running our heat. I mean, there's very few days that we probably don't run it.
Right.
Just depending on the person, right? So if you're anything like me, I need my AC and my heat, and maybe in between I might open a window.
Maybe.
But yeah, maybe. Just ask my husband. He likes to open the windows, and I'm always like, well, with allergies and things.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
So, but anyway, just so like you said, those type of units, your furnace and your central air are in the thousands of dollars to replace or, just a big repair. So, like I said about the people that were only in there for a month, we were able to replace their central air. Now, there are sometimes non-covered costs involved. So
Can you go into that a little bit?
Sure. I mean, if there's a certain part of, the I'm just going to use for example, like a furnace, like an electrical line or a gas line or,
That goes outside the
ductwork.
house.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Or like duct work that has to be modified,
Oh, so if they put in a different unit, the ductwork has to be
Correct. It has to
That
be-
would not be covered.
Right.
Okay.
If they have a certain extra put on a coverage, then it might pay up to a certain amount of, for
okay.
it.
Okay.
But I just always like to tell people, there sometimes are non-covered charges that they will need to pay, but it won't be like they're paying for, a brand new furnace and air if they didn't have a warranty.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, that's just something to look at, and consider. But we do want people to know that and be aware of that. But we can definitely save them a lot of money.
Yeah. I think
So-
that's awesome. The AC, you kind of touch on this, goes out 60 days after move in. What happens? You said you guys covered it even after 30 days.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it has to, number one, our professional has to come out and do a diagnosis. And as long as, like I said, it failed due to normal wear and tear, and, that's what it was, that's what we're going to do. If we can't fix it, we'll replace it.
Something I was going to bring up and I totally blanked on it.
Oh, okay.
I was going to inject it in there.
Was it about the air
come back.
conditioning or?
It might have been.
Okay.
That's okay. That's all right.
You'll think of it.
I'll think it'll come to me. But,
It will.
I know. Do you guys, when people are going in to look through this and stuff, are your vendors on there so that they can kind of research who you guys use?
So we do not share that information just because, it's something that what I will say is, we hire contractors that we have we've gone through a process. We have a certain department that handles that. They know that they're licensed, insured. They know that they're going
local
to
guys.
Yes, they are local, and we do have a person that does each trade, a contract relations that is working with them to make sure that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and that just everything is going to work out as it should. And if for some reason something doesn't, then we address that at that time.
Mm-hmm. Good. I mean, what else can you do, right?
Right.
What's the most common breakdown you see in appliances?
Oh, wow. So appliance would be a refrigerator for sure, just because how many times a day do you think you, your spouse, or your children open up that refrigerator?
I think the ice maker.
Yes.
Almost every house I show, the ice maker's not working.
I know. And that's why, I always make sure that people are aware that the ice maker has coverage, okay?
Yeah.
And if that's not part of that plan, we make sure we get it added on there.
Okay.
Because it seems like a lot of times maybe the ice maker will start out with the problem and then go into other things on the refrigerator.
Okay.
So, you're right though that it's funny because a lot of people are like, well, I'm just going to start buying ice, or they'll get one of those little.
We did. Yeah, we did for a while.
Yep. And that's fine too. I mean, I don't know. I always feel like one of those little ice makers that sits on the counter is better ice for some reason. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I agree.
But
we had one. My daughter swiped it when she went to college.
I bet she did. I would too.
Yeah.
But water heaters. Oh my goodness, those are a big one as well. And then, just your HVAC. But appliances, it's definitely the refrigerators, the ovens, things like that.
So you cover pretty much Northeast Iowa?
I cover the pretty much the entire state of Iowa.
Is there, in certain areas, certain things that you see break down more?
I would just say across the board, our two top are appliances and HVAC.
Okay.
That's those are always seem to be, I always run reports, and I'm finding those are the top paid out dispatches are the appliances and HVAC. And sometimes I'll run them, and lo and behold, the appliances are more than the HVAC.
Really?
So, yes. And I think that goes back to where we were discussing how they don't make things like they used to. I mean, it feels like that happens so much with the appliances.
Interesting. Well, I heard that they intentionally, this is what a guy said about our washer. They intentionally only make them 8 years, like to last about 8 years, because they want the turnaround. Now, I don't know if that's true.
I know.
It seems to like kind of, that's. Now, washer dryer has to be an add-on onto the policy.
So with HSA, yes, it is. Okay. It's an add-on. American Home Shield, it's with it comes with two of the products, the packages that we offer for American Home Shield. But yes, HSA, it is an add-on.
Okay. Is there one more thing that's an add-on to that too?
For appliances, no.
Okay.
We cover, like in the kitchen, it would be the refrigerator, the oven, the built-in microwave, disposal, dishwasher. So I think that pretty much covers the kitchen area.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, the reason I ask about the areas is I know, I live in Marion, and everybody says the water there takes the hot water heater out.
Yeah, I mean, possibly I've heard that too about water softeners. as well, just because of the water being hard. And softeners, they can add those on as well.
Okay.
So maybe that's what you were thinking about.
Yeah, that could be.
I think maybe that's what you were thinking about. But definitely it can make a difference when there's hard water.
Okay.
It's, it's harder on things. I always tell people, don't overload your washers and your dryers. That's hard on them to run, to run those. So, I always give out just little tips because I see that sometimes.
Tell us tips.
I
would
know.
love to hear tips.
Just things like, I'll tell you another tip. I'm full of them.
Keep it coming, girl.
So the garbage disposal. I think I've talked to you about this before.
Yeah.
Basically, you don't need to be putting things down the garbage disposal. And people say, well, why do I have one then? Well, I really couldn't answer that because I'm not a plumber, but most people in Iowa have garbage disposals.
Yeah.
But it's just, it will really mess with the line in the the main line that's in the house.
Okay.
So I would, definitely not potato peels or eggshells or, That's not a good one.
Grease.
Yes, grease. Never grease or coffee. Coffee,
Yeah.
Never
Coffee grounds.
Coffee grounds. Don't ever do that. But just kind of, I guess, use common sense when you're and basically I throw everything in my garbage. I don't use the disposal.
I've even gotten a basket to catch the little stuff.
Yes,
because,
I just got one of those and they're wonderful.
They are because you don't realize how much
is really going down there. Yes, those are awesome. I do have one of those. So
yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Those are good. Keep them coming. And don't overload your washer and dryer.
Yes.
Which I can be guilty of sometimes.
I know it. And I think when you
this
have
amount of time to get laundry done.
Right. And I think when kids or college kids come home, they're used to having those big
That's true.
washers and dryers.
That's true.
And it's like really probably half of the towels you should dry at one time. So it's just, it's just easier on the machines. So
interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just things like that, basically trying to just help maintain.
Yeah.
Obviously that's what we're here for, is things that break due to normal wear and tear. Mm-hmm. But it's just always, I always like just knowing certain things before, people buy homes, to give them little tips like that.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
All right.
Really quickly, the garbage disposal was one thing that we got done.
Really?
I think it was the first thing that we got done.
Okay.
And it was like back then our plan was like $75 and it was next day. And
Sure.
we were
Nice.
taken care of. I didn't have to worry about it.
Okay.
I know. I hate if I ever, once in a while, I will run mine just to make sure
Yes.
that it's
and with
cleaned.
lots of water.
Yeah. Lots of water. And I'll throw, what about those little pellets to clean?
They're probably okay. One thing I wouldn't recommend, and I thought, oh, this is genius because I use lemons all the time. That'll make it smell good. And so I put lemons down there, and the guy that came and cleaned out the guy that came and cleaned out the line, he's like, I found a lot of lemon pills, and I found, and
Guilty.
he's like, don't do that. Maybe if it just a little lemon juice, but don't put the whole lemon down there.
Okay.
I said,
good to know.
I sliced it, but it still
My
wasn't.
husband's not watching.
I know, right?
I've been warned. But I was like you. I'm like, oh, I want the kitchen to smell like lemons.
Right. And not like a garbage disposal.
Yes, exactly. Okay, good to know.
Yes.
Most overlooked system.
So as far as what maintaining or just overlooked as just
I think maintaining. Yeah, like what we've kind of touched on tips. I know our air conditioning guy came and he's like, you just need to hose out like the outside
Oh,
fins and things like that.
Right.
It never even occurred to us to do that.
Right. So after the, say the fall, the spring, whatever, when the leaves are, dropping and you're getting those, I would, use a hose very lightly. Don't use like a power wash or anything, but just a light little cleaning of that can go a long ways.
Okay.
Like I mentioned before, just changing out the filters in your furnace, AC is very important. Just making sure that things are cleaned, properly. And that can just really, really help, things, the maintenance, like I mentioned before.
Our HVAC tells us when we have to change, which
That's
is
very
brilliant,
good.
because I know when I was a single homeowner by myself, that baby got changed maybe once a year. Like it was.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I didn't realize it.
I know it. I know.
And I hate to say that, but
Right. No, I completely understand that. That is true. I mean, we are so busy in our lives.
Yes. Well, I can't believe today's Thursday already. Let
I
alone
know.
30 days to change
Wow.
the filter.
Exactly. I agree.
One thing I did want to touch on, sellers. You guys kind of suggest, like, let's say the house is vacant.
Right.
Kind of have one in place while your home is being shown. And touch on that just a little bit.
I think sometimes people don't realize that they can get seller's coverage while their house is on, actively listed, and until it closes, we can get coverage for the seller. So what that does is that creates a, peace of mind for them as well, where their house is on the market.
Yeah.
And we've seen things like when it comes down to the closing date and the people do their walkthrough, guess what? The refrigerator went out, or the water heater's leaking.
Yes.
I knew that was coming. And we have, basically saved deals because of that.
Yes.
Because if we can't get it repaired or replaced before closing, we'll do a letter of intent saying that, this is what our contractor found, this is what we'll do. And then that potentially could, keep the closing on time.
Yeah.
No delays.
Yeah.
Because people want to know that that's going to be fixed. And
Absolutely.
They're rightfully so.
Yeah.
Because after they close, you do want to get it addressed. So, and make sure that they know that that's going to be fixed and done and ready for them.
Yeah.
So very good, points of, and during the listing, like I said, I mean, even, the initial property inspection, maybe there's something there that's found. We just ask that they put the coverage on the day that it's listed.
Okay.
And that way, if something would come up and they were able to use their warranty, they most certainly can do that.
And what does that run approximately?
So if they are doing seller's coverage, usually it's $60 for, that is for the HVAC. So it would be the well, let's go back on that one.
No, I mean for the policy.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Let's go back. So for a seller, with HSA right now, it's $515 for a full year. If they want, if the seller wants their HVAC covered during the listing process, then we do charge an additional $60. So, if they want the basic coverage, it's $515. If they want the HVAC, it's an additional $60 for the seller, and that is not paid until closing.
Okay.
So again,
so some is that just while the home is on the market? So you're saying it's a year. The
So-
sellers sold the house. Does that transfer to their new house?
Okay,
How does
so what happens when they do seller's coverage is we put it on, like we said, the first day of listing, and then what happens is at closing, say, maybe a month later, what we do is we give the buyer 1 full year.
Nice.
So it's not like, we start out the listing coverage for 6 months.
Okay.
If the house doesn't sell, we will extend that another 6 months.
Okay.
But it's never that the buyer doesn't get 1 full year if they have listing coverage.
Okay.
Because we give the buyer 1 full year of warranty from closing date.
Wow. That's just a real perk when you list a house, especially if it's older or it's got old mechanicals.
Yes, I would definitely recommend it just because why not?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Why not
exactly.
get that protection?
When the rubber meets the road, $500 really isn't that
Right,
much.
right. Exactly.
If it can give you peace of mind. That way, if you do walk in and something, it's cold and the heat went out, great, we're going to get that replaced.
Right.
Letter of intent, if it can't be done before closing,
Yep.
that's definitely a win-win. So
You bet.
this is great. I'm learning so much.
I know. I always love to tell people, obviously what I can, what I know, what's going to make them, feel better about the home buying, the home listing process. And you guys, obviously you tell them and you let them know, but it's, their choice if they want to do, the coverage, but at least we have offered it.
Yeah, right.
And let them know that there is something that can be put into place for their protection, their budget, peace of mind.
So let's say we've owned the house 15 years, just for my listeners.
Sure.
Can we still get it?
Yes, you can. So what we do is, I basically handle the real estate sales part of it.
Okay.
But if somebody wants to, get a policy after they've been in their home for several years, they can reach out to our customer service.
Okay.
And they will let them know what plans are available, and they most certainly can do that.
Okay. Is it more expensive?
It probably is going to be
Okay.
just depending on what plans they want.
Okay.
I don't, like I said, I do real estate sales basically. And so I'm not really sure the direct to consumer that,
Okay.
they would have to talk to them.
So let's say you got it when you bought the house. You can renew it every year.
Yes.
Do you guys have a limit to how many years?
We do not have a limit. I actually had one the other day that it was 26 years that they've had our warranty.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
They need to be on the podcast.
I know. I'm like, you are, that's wonderful. I would love to hear like all of your stories of what you've had replaced
Yes.
and, that type of thing. And obviously they're loving our warranty and they're sticking with it.
Good.
So it's good. Yeah. We, like I mentioned before, over 80% renewal rate.
That's amazing.
So
That's awesome.
it is.
One I didn't, most common issues in the corridor. We touched about the state of Iowa, but, do you see, and I don't know if you guys came into play after derecho or not.
Well, we didn't because we don't cover anything
Outside
that is
the house.
not, we don't cover anything that fails from acts of God.
Okay. That's
so
good to know
so
too.
just
Okay.
that is in our contract.
So if there's a fire? you don't-
Correct.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, we do not.
Okay.
So, basically if somebody, one of the kids was out playing by the air conditioner and a football got thrown into it, making a huge dent and it quit working, something like that. I
you have
raised
that?
2 boys. I didn't.
Okay, but you
I had one that was using one of those scooters or whatever on our wood floor, and he did run into the lower of the oven with it. and it just put a small dent. But so that would be, an example of, that's not normal wear and tear, right?
Okay.
So
Scooters into the bottom of the oven is
correct. So we just I didn't hurt the function of it. It's just the drawer, the warmer drawer on the bottom, whatever. But anyway, so if something like that would happen, we wouldn't cover that type of thing.
Okay.
So,
that makes sense, really. Because,
I mean, it does. And, I really I like to just, tell people, just, make sure that it's in working order as it should be before the warranty's put on.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we cover things due to normal wear and tear. So we don't depreciate for age. We don't, care about, how old it is, but just, working order is what we ask. So
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. How would people, what's your website? How do they go on and kind of research you?
Oh, sure.
Out and
Absolutely. So for HSA, it would be onlinehsa.com. And then if they were interested in our American Home Shield products, that is ahs.com.
okay.
So they can do that. They can email me, robin.peterson@onlinehsa.com.
Okay.
Is mine. So, I don't, either way, I'm happy to answer questions for people and let them know, what's available. They can get our warranty 90 days post-close.
That was another question.
Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as, like I said, everything's in working order and looks good, appliances, things like that, HVAC is in working order, they can work through me on that and we can get them the real estate pricing.
So do you guys come in then and inspect before? Like let's say
Right.
89 days. Hey, I think we want that. The heater doesn't sound right.
Right.
The furnace is
so we do not come in
Okay.
and do inspections. We trust that they are going to be honest with us. We that's why we have professionals that come out to the house. Believe you me, they will know if something, was pre-existing or not.
Okay.
So, that's about, really all that we ask. We don't, like I said, we don't do an inspection, but we like to just say, hey, if you say everything is working, then we will go with that.
Yeah.
And you just need to know that if something wasn't, we will probably detect that.
Have you ever had that happen? And you had to call them and say, this was already pre-existing.
Yes, we have. And some people are not surprised by it. Some people are. But, it doesn't happen a lot, but it can happen.
Sure. Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
Well, I so appreciate you taking the time, Robin, because you're a busy woman.
Oh, you are too. But you know what? I feel like educating people on warranties and how they work is a great tool.
Yeah.
Especially in real estate. You know, that is one to put in your realtor, tool belt, so to speak. And, just be able to talk about it. And again, if there's ever questions that come up, I am more than happy to address those and answer those.
And you do. You're very responsive, and it's really, we're lucky to have you.
Thank you. Well, I feel the same way. You guys do a great job, and I really appreciate you all.
Well, thank you.
You bet.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Addressing the Corridor. New episodes drop the first Monday of each month, so be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you find your podcasts. You can also find updates about the podcast, as well as local real estate at crrealtor.com, or find me on social media platforms under the name Lisa Coots Schooley. That's Lisa, Coots, Schooley. Finally, whether you are buying, selling, or just real estate curious, remember, I'm here to help you make confident, informed decisions, one address at a time.